Hey! Hi, how you doing? This is Ryan, and welcome back to the Gamertron Show. Here's an interesting question that entered my mind that I wanted to ask and share with all of you. When does passion go too far? When does passion become toxic? Unhealthy? Where do you believe the line is crossed? You love something so irrationally to the point where it's detrimental to yourself and those around you. Keep in mind, however, this video is not about the more extreme instances of this, like stalking, or becoming physically violent with another human being. These are very serious cases that require the authorities to get involved. Given that the childish and cringy name of my YouTube channel is The Gamertron Show, let's stick with video games for now, eh? There are folks with far more intelligence and experience than I that can tackle these more consequential subject matters. For now, let's keep it to video games. When does one's passion for a video game or a particular video game franchise go too far? When have we passed the point of reasonable moderation to unreasonable, irrational obsession? From my perspective, it's this.
I know that there will be a fair share of people in the comments who say things like, if you don't like it, then don't play it. Give up on Halo, play something else. But Halo is like the best friend that you've had since primary school. You were inseparable, and while there were plenty of other friends along the way, Halo was different from all the rest. Then you started high school as mum and dad got a divorce, and around 2012, he started hanging out with the wrong crew. He started acting differently, he wasn't himself anymore, and by 2015 he was doing drugs, and since then, he's been telling us he'll do better, that he'll clean himself up and go back to being the friend we all knew, making all these promises. There was a bit of hope in 2018, and he said 2020 was gonna be his year, which didn't quite go as planned. And then, by the end of 2021, we thought that the best friend that we used to know might be back. But that only lasted so long. We talked to his mum Bonnie, to his dad Joe, and his uncle Frankie, and now they're finally putting him into rehab. And unfortunately, like any rehabilitation process, it's just gonna take time, which sucks. I just want my friend back. I just want Halo back.
Holy shit, dude. Video games are not people. Video games are not your friend. I understand having an emotional connection to a story, a franchise, an intellectual property. I understand that you had good experiences with a thing. They make you feel good. They're good memories. I get that. But when your response to a perfectly reasonable retort, such as, play another video game, instead of playing a game that you don't find fun and upsets you, play something you do find fun and makes you happy, if your response to that perfectly reasonable advice is, but Halo is my best friend, I love it so much. Well, there's no other way I can say this without being blunt and mean, so I'll just say it. You gotta grow the fuck up. And honestly, and I mean this from a place of empathy, not ridicule, consider seeking therapy. If the prospect of changing, of trying new things, of moving on prompts such resistance from you to the point of self-imposed misery, well, I guess I'm just gonna play this clip yet again from comedian Randy Feltface.
And if you're unhappy, just fucking change. If you have the means to change. If you don't have the means to change, that's a terrible situation. I feel awful for you, but you probably do. I mean, if you're here, can afford to come and see this shit, you could probably change. Might be the hardest thing you've ever done. Might take ages. But please, for the love of God, if you're unhappy, fucking change. Because quite frankly, you being miserable is ruining it for the rest of us.
Change isn't inherently bad, and I'm not just talking about video games here. You cannot expect everything to stay the same. You cannot expect everything to go your way. You have to be willing to adapt, evolve, change. If you can't do that, with a video game, then how the hell are you going to be able to cope when something actually drastically important happens in your life? If you're not willing to bend, the world will break you. This is all part of being an adult. It's not the 80s anymore. It's not the 90s anymore. It's not the early 2000s anymore. You've got to make a decision here. Are you going to spend all day being sad and angry that you can't relive all those happy memories from your past? Or are you going to move forward and make opportunities for yourself to create new happy memories? We are not privileged children anymore. Happiness is not just served to us on a plate. As an adult, you have to be willing to make an effort. There's nothing wrong with asking for help, of course, to help find and create that new happiness. But if you make absolutely no effort to find and create new happiness for yourself and totally rely on others, on chaos, on a roll of the dice for that happiness to come to you, to be delivered to you, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be disappointed. You have to be willing to make an effort. You have to be willing to take the first step. You are not a child anymore. You are an adult. And in this scenario, concerning video games, video game developers and video game publishers are not your parents. It is not their job to provide you with happiness. They are craftsmen and salesmen. They are here to make and sell you a product. They are not your parents. They are not your dear friends. They are other human beings, like you and me. They got their own shit going on, living their own lives, making their way through the world their own way. This relationship you think you have with them and their game is a parasocial one. It's not real. You don't truly know these people, and a video game is an inanimate fucking object. Our feelings, no matter how strong they may be, do not dictate the facts. Here are some facts for all you gamers out there. There are over 831,000 video games in the world total. And there's no way in hell you've played them all. And new games are releasing every day, every month, every year. Those strong feelings you have towards a particular video game franchise, they can be replicated. As corny and cheesy and as cliched as this saying is, there are other fish in the sea. Halo fans, the Halo community, you're not happy with the current state of Halo Infinite. Alright, so take a moment and look at these other gaming communities, like the Destiny community. Despite the many issues with the game and its developer, the vast majority of the Destiny community are in agreement that Destiny 2 is currently in the best state it's ever been, with the recent release of the excellent The Witch Queen expansion. The Destiny community are enjoying their game and franchise right now. Perhaps you could share in that joy. Give Destiny 2 a try. It's free to play after all, and the Witch Queen expansion is well worth the money. But let's look at another gaming community that's doing well and is happy with the current state of their franchise. Monster Hunter. With the release of Monster Hunter World in 2018 and its expansion Iceborne in 2019, followed up with the release of Monster Hunter Rise in 2020 and its recent expansion Sunbreak in 2022. Both of the base game releases and their respective expansions have all been met with critical acclaim. Monster Hunter fans are having the time of their lives. Why not check out the Monster Hunter franchise and see why fans are enjoying themselves so much? Or, you could just play the Master Chief Collection and play your favorite Halo games from that collection. I mean, bruh, you have options. You can still play and enjoy video games. The only thing stopping you is you. Or, and hear me out, explore other hobbies. There are other ways to obtain happiness. There is more to life than video games, and you as a human being are more than just this one thing you like. But if you force yourself to limit yourself to just being a person who likes this one thing, then yeah, life is going to fucking suck for you, and it's gonna be your fault. Because guess what? That thing you love, that thing you're so passionate about, that thing you obsess over, can and will disappoint you from time to time, because things change. And you're not gonna like every single one of those changes. It's statistically impossible. Let's go back to this analogy of Halo being like a best friend. Well, I've had actual living human being best friends who went down different paths, who made different choices than me. Some good, some bad. There's some relationships I have that are just shattered, broken, can't be repaired. Because those friends I had changed, and I changed as well. So what am I supposed to do? Just sit around and sulk and be miserable all day? Because I'm not friends with that one person anymore? Because that old friend went down a dark path that I can't follow and they refuse to change? I'm just supposed to feel sad and sorry for myself and them? Hell no! I refuse to let my happiness be dictated by others, by forces outside of my control. I will make my own happiness. I will make new relationships, new good memories with other people. Because that's how you live a normal, healthy life. You can't remain stagnant. Stagnation, apathy, an unwillingness to change, adapt, and evolve invites toxicity. You set yourself up for disappointment and create a vicious cycle. Look, there are franchises, there are people I am passionate about. But if the subject of that passion no longer brings me happiness, joy, and excitement, and instead just sadness and anger, then I move the fuck on to something else I can be passionate about. For example, I used to be a fan of the Marvel movies and the Star Wars movies, but when both those movie franchises went in directions that I didn't like, I dropped them and moved on to something else. I didn't shout and scream and cry. I didn't attack and harass the creators and artists involved in these franchises. Because Marvel and Star Wars are not my friends. They are not friends. They are not people. They are intellectual properties. And there are literally thousands upon thousands of other intellectual properties that I can obtain happiness from. Why waste all this time and all this emotional energy on something that just isn't for me? At least, not anymore. Because again, there are other fish in the sea. So to all the Halo fans who genuinely believe this absolute nonsense here,
If you don't like it, then don't play it. Give up on Halo, play something else. But Halo is like the best friend that you've had since primary school. You were inseparable, and while there were plenty of other friends along the way, Halo was different from all the rest.
Halo is not your best friend, and never was, never will be. This is a parasocial relationship that you have invented, and this is no longer passion. This is toxicity. You've gotta grow the fuck up, and well, if you're unhappy, just fucking change.
Might be the hardest thing you've ever done. Might take ages. But please, for the love of God, if you're unhappy, fucking change. Because quite frankly, you being miserable is ruining it for the rest of us.
Anyways, that's been a video. Thank you for watching. If you did indeed like the video, please hit the like button, leave a comment in the comments section down below, share the video on social media, Twitter, Reddit, and Facebook, and if you want to help out and support me directly, please consider making a YouTube Super Thanks donation or donating via the link to my Buy Me a Coffee page in the description down below. Anyways, once again, that's been a video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all later.